Everyone, thanks for joining me today. We're going to be covering a life science topic today, specifically animal behaviors. So two types of animal behaviors we'll be looking at. The first one is instinct, and this is a behavior that an animal is born with. Or in other words, it has inherited it, from its parents, who inherited it from their parents, and so on. These can also be called innate or natural behaviors because, they're something that the animal just knows how to do, and they help the animal meet its needs. So examples of this, are birds building a nest. They don't go to class or read a book about it. They just know how to make a nest. And earthworms, they burrow underground. They just know that that's what they need to do. And caterpillars, when they make a cocoon, again, it's just something that very naturally, happens. They just know how to do it and when to do it, and it's just what it needs to do to survive. And so these are called instincts. Another type of behavior is a learned behavior. And this is a behavior that an animal learns from interacting with its environment. So, this isn't something that it just naturally does on its own. Okay, it has to learn it and see it happen somewhere else. So, for example, humans, okay, we learn a certain language. Depending on where you are when you're learning how to talk, that is the type of language you'll speak. So that's a learned behavior. Animals also have learned behaviors. So, for example, a horse allowing a person to ride on it. Naturally, horses don't really allow themselves to be ridden by people. They have to be, trained and taught how to handle a person on its back. So that would be a learned behavior. So what are some other instincts or maybe learned behaviors that you know? Okay, there's plenty of examples out there. All different kinds of animals have all different kinds of instincts. And for the most part, learned behaviors vary depending on the animal's experiences, where they're at, and also the environment, the ecosystem that they live in can also affect their not just their instincts, but their learned behaviors as well. So let's take a look at some more examples. Okay, so what are some other, instincts versus learned behaviors? So here we have a picture of a calf feeding on its mother, and when they're born, it is an instinct, okay, it's an instinct to nurse, okay, and to drink from the mother. Human infants do this as well. All mammals, actually, mammal young, that's why they're called mammals, because the mother will produce milk for the offspring. And so that is an instinct. The newborn knows to get its nutrition from its mother. Here we have a picture of a chimpanzee, and he is using a stick to try to, get some ants that he's going to eat. And it said he's probably learned how to do this by watching other chimpanzees. And they also can learn this from, trial and error, maybe trying this out before. Hey, when I used this stick, it worked a little bit better. So that would be considered a learned behavior because it's something that the monkey wasn't born with just knowing how to do and how it worked. Another example of an instinct, okay, would be animals, specifically birds, migrating. They do migrate south in the wintertime. They're not the only animals that migrate, though, or actually, there's lots of insects, excuse me, who also migrate. And so this is an instinct that is just absolutely amazing. They know where to go, how to get there, when to leave, and when to come back. And they're not looking at a calendar or a watch or anything. It's just born in them. Spiders have an instinct on building their spider webs. So similar to, the birds building a nest. They don't watch YouTube videos on how to make different designs in their spider webs. They just naturally know how to do this. And the really interesting thing, too, is that different spiders will build different kinds of webs, but they're all instinctual. It just has to do with that specific species of spider. So, a lot of times when we talk about learned behaviors, we include humans in this. And so playing, any kind of sport really, but here we have a picture of a young man playing baseball. Okay, that's definitely a learned behavior. I don't know about you, but I did not come into this world just knowing how to play baseball, and to be honest, I still am not really good at it either. So definitely doing things like this are learned behaviors. Being able to, do things like dancing, playing musical instruments, pretty much anything beyond just, regular motor skills of like, walking and running and climbing and things like that. Anything else that requires a level of skill is going to be a learned behavior. And then another example of a learned behavior in animals, okay, if you have a dog, maybe if you have a cat, I've seen some cats do this as well, but you can teach them tricks. So anytime, if you have a pet that you ask them to sit or speak or shake hands, you are, teaching your pet a learned behavior. So that's it for today. Like I said, it's just really it's a matter of asking yourself, is this something that the animal was born knowing how to do, or did they have to learn how to do that? And if they just know it without, any help or any input, then it's an instinct. But if not, then it's a learned behavior. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.